So, good day everyone, I'm Miss Mara Ohano from BSCE 1A and I will be discussing about sustainable city. So, the learning content would be learning objectives, overview or introduction, definition of sustainable city, its benefits, city features, some sustainable places in the world, New Clark City in the Philippines, and of course, the conclusion and recommendations. So, the learning objectives are as follows. Explore what a sustainable city is and what its features are, recognize the significance of a sustainable city area, and evaluate and characterize some of the world's most sustainable cities. So, from the overview, in our introduction, Shelley 2018 remarked, just as with any true love, to adore a city is to adore all of its parts. So, do you think? Yes, indeed, that is true because sustainable cities and communities are even listed in goal number 11 in the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. So, what features of a city must be re-examined in order for them to generally suit for these goals? So, how can we rethink cities to make them better, safer, and healthier places to live? So, let's know this. So first, what does sustainable and city mean? So sustainable, so if we start from the beginning, sustain means to give support to or to hold up or bear or keep it up. So sustainable is an adjective for something that is able to be sustained, something that is bearable and capable of being continued at a certain level. So it's something that can be maintained or practiced that does not hurt the environment. For example, instead of driving, you will just ride a bike which uses a less oil. So then city comes from the Latin civitas, which means citizenship or community of citizens, from the root civis means citizen. So it is an area in which a large number of people live fairly close together. So cities usually have their own separate governments and systems for maintaining and providing utilities and transportation. So it is basically a large town. So what does a sustainable city? Sustainable city is an urban-centered engineer to improve its environmental impact through urban planning and management. So it's a city with parks, green spaces, solar-powered buildings, rooftop gardens, and more pedestrians and cyclists than cars. So it is also known as urban sustainability. So it aims to create the smallest possible ecological footprint. So it means that it obtains good marks in areas like air pollution, public transportation, the amount of educated and employed people, the percentage of green space, energy usage, and access to drinking water. So as civilization grows and climate change events become more frequent and extreme, sustainable cities are likely to be prepared to address the problems that urban regions face. So through this planned infrastructure, public green areas for garbage removal, and other methods, cities can live a net zero footprint, so for more a sustainable world. So in some ways, a sustainable city is one that prioritizes environmental preservation while also improving the quality of life for its residents. So now let's watch this video. It is about sustainable cities, in which green technology is one of the key factors in fostering the sustainable development of a city.
It's a resilient yet delicate ecosystem, and we're more aware than ever that how we live and work can affect balance. So we're getting smarter, going greener, and finding new ways through technology to help create a more sustainable world. Technology innovations like electric vehicles, smart city lighting, greener buildings, and renewable energy. To make it all happen, these green technologies must connect, send data, provide insight, and automate processes. What connects green tech? The answer is Digi IoT solution. Digi is our green tech connects. Digi connectivity solutions help make smart cities even smarter. We connect electric vehicles and EV charging stations, green building systems like solar panels, smart HVAC systems to reduce the use of fossil fuel and other resources, remote industrial tanks for environmental monitoring, and renewable energy projects so utilities and businesses can optimize the power grid and go green. You'll also find Digi devices in a wide range of smart irrigation and agricultural management systems to help reduce water and chemical use and prevent unnecessary trips across farmland and fuel-consuming vehicles. In all these green tech systems, we help organizations around the world to gather critical data to support better insights and greener decisions. Digi devices connect wireless applications virtually anywhere on the planet.
As we saw from the video, how green technology contributes to more sustainable urban development. So it includes the transportation, infrastructure, telecommunications, and energy, among other components of city planning. So generally, green technology promotes the green living practices in homes and offices, such as recycling, like we used to know. Yes, and the efficient use of energy and renewable resources. So that is how a sustainable city appears or looks like. So if you wonder why do we need this sustainable city, so here it is. Yeah, so the importance of sustainable cities and communities is becoming increasingly critical in the quest to reverse environmental damage and improve the livability of cities. So here are some of the key benefits: environmental stewardship, mitigating the impact of global warming, better air quality, improved water management and reduction of avoidable water loss, more efficient use of the electric grid for reduced carbon emissions and lower costs, and better use of solar energy and shade trees. Okay, so what do you think that makes a city more sustainable? So here are some of the characteristics and key features of sustainable city. So the following are ways for achieving this sustainable status that we can address the social, environmental, economic impacts of sustainability by adopting these features. So first is the public transportation. So cities that focus on sustainability must address transportation head-on as motor vehicles are responsible for carbon monoxide pollution. So it says that public transit that is both affordable and easily available gets automobile off the road, lowering the harmful emissions produced by regular driving communities and errands. So another great way to improve public transportation and encourage greener practices is to incentivize alternative travel. So with this type of future transportation, it makes a greener place transit. So there are some benefits of sustainable urban development, such as the lower transportation costs, reduced strain on traffic management infrastructure, massive reduction of carbon emissions, and cleaner air. So some examples of public transit that is bike-friendly infrastructure such as the electric trolley bus, underground railways, pedestrian bridges, bike path networks, and connected urban grids. So second is the adding electric vehicle charging stations. So cities aiming for carbon neutrality include electric vehicle charging stations in their sustainable city planning. So installing charging stations on random street corners could result in property value loss and increased congestion as the city aims for carbon neutrality and carbon emission free at ground transportation. So this must become a commonplace. So a vehicle that is powered by hydrogen and oxygen can run twice as long as electric vehicle before needing a refill, so rather than a charge. So here are the benefits of having electric vehicle and adding a electric vehicle charging station. So it was just the same from the public transportation. So next is to provide access to public resources and green spaces. So sustainable cities also have residents achieve sustainability in their own lives by providing opportunity and access to resources. So some of these facilities such as museums and cultural centers can rehumanize urban centers and help a city define its identity. So then, urban green spaces are high priority for sustainable cities as this area solve a number of challenges at once. So one of its concern is air pollution. But by implementing green infrastructure, the sustainable city may achieve pollution control, public health, and growing biodiversity, while also enhancing the property value in the area. So then, yes, these community gardens can also provide a residents with free or low-cost gardening spaces as well as edible landscaping. So ensuring that urban plants serve two purposes, such that is ornamental, that is kind of plants beautification or decorative or for decorative purposes, and functional plants that is group of plants that is something to do with the vegetation science or flora. So as sustainable studies have shown that green spaces help improve mental health. Yeah. So as I said, it is beneficial not just for the environment but to one's mental health. So here are some of the benefits. More livable urban centers, improve urban mobility, support for diverse ecosystem including birds, bees, and butterflies, and mental health for residents. So examples of public green spaces such as parks, greenways and trails, street trees, and protected conservation areas. So next is the improved water conservation and waste management. So one of the key factors in creating a sustainable city is through a technology, so which assists a city in conserving and saving water as well as managing garbages. So all of which improve the environment and people's livelihood. So then resourceful urban water management is also characteristic of sustainable cities. So we all know that over 90% of the world's cities are located near the ocean. So while this puts these communities at a higher danger of natural disasters and climate change, it also allows for more efficient use of adjustment to water resources. So here are some of the water conservation practices that we can adopt: rainwater harvesting, green infrastructure, and waterless hardware. So instead of water treatment facility, green infrastructure exploit the natural water cycle to provide clean water supply. So likewise, waste disposal processes can shift toward a circular economy model and sustainable city waste management. So it stipulates that the trash can be either reused or recycled, and rather than throwing waste away only to end up in landfill, disposal processes should be a circular. So energy recovery is a great solution for waste that can't be recycled using traditional methods. So this can be done by a process that captures fly ash burned at landfills site and convert it to energy. So then using technology to go paperless is another great way to promote sustainability on a city-wide scale. So nowadays, we are using to filling out forms or other forms on online platforms in order to submit or to work on something that is paperless and thus work more convenient for us. Yeah. So here are some of the benefits. Fewer water shortages, enhance availability of water for recreational purposes, reduce waste and the energy used to manage it, and then less environmental pollutions. Yeah, that's what I said. So next is the urban and solar farming. So we know that the most in-demand city resource is food, which is second only to energy. So as the world's population expands, this is one of our greatest difficulties. So it requires us to have a more food, which necessitates the usage of eco-friendly methods by reducing the greenhouse gas emissions. So we must understand that buying locally is preferable. Growing food close to home lowers the distance between the farm and the customer, so that it aids in the reduction of fuel use and pollutants. So an example is that urban farming practices include vertical gardens, rooftop farming, community gardens, and encouraging schools and restaurants to grow food. So if everyone is on the same page, these practices can help a city become more sustainable. So my family and I grow veggies such as ampalaya and eggplant, so which help us when we run out of money, and when sometimes we are too lazy to go out and buy meals. So likewise, the switch to clean energy is essential for cities to become more sustainable, and these solar farms can improve air quality in a city while also providing renewable energy to citizens and municipal cities. So as a result, residents who are unable to generate solar energy on their own property might profit from the solar farms funded by the city. So it also allows the municipal buildings to switch to renewable energy resources. So here are some of the benefits of having this urban and solar farming. So meeting the growing demand for local food, boosting the local economy, transforming underutilized spaces into vibrant and edible landscape, and reducing the environmental impact of agriculture supply chains. So lastly is the implementing green architecture or green building. So when it comes to cities and sustainable cities, green architecture in collaboration with engineers is one of the key component. So green architects and engineers are discovering innovative ways to reduce resource use and lower greenhouse gas emissions. So in the same way as architects and engineers comes with new ideas, green buildings which reduce CO2 emissions or the carbon dioxide emissions by 32%. So it requires less maintenance and has cheaper water and electric bills. So these green buildings must acquire the lead or the leadership in energy and environmental design certification buildings to address the energy savings, water efficiency, CO2 emissions reduction, and more. So as a matter of fact, the lead was enacted by the United States Green Building Council to give a framework for green architects and engineers in building infrastructure to pass on cost savings, high efficiency design, construction, operations, and maintenance of a building. So here some ways to address these areas, such as the smart heating and cooling system, natural building materials, enhanced ventilation insulation, solar panels, green roof. So here are some of the key benefits: energy savings, reduce greenhouse emissions, improve air quality, better health. So here are some of the examples of green building and architecture. So after we know why do we need a sustainable city, so let's get to know some of the sustainable cities in the world. So if you want to travel or visit sustainable city, there are many that are attempting to recycle more, use renewable energy, and satisfy the UN Sustainable Development Targets, while also receiving the LEED accreditations or other organizations. And that you may continue to live sustainably and follow eco-friendly practices in order to reduce your carbon impact. So I've chosen 5 places that are leading the way in moving towards sustainable living and making the world a greener place. So first is the Copenhagen, Denmark. So the Telegraph dubbed Copenhagen as the greenest city in the world for a number of positive reasons. So first of all, there buses are changing from diesel to electric energy. Additionally, more of their routes are being specifically made for biking, with electric bikes being sold at a low cost. So another cool thing about Copenhagen is that 2/3 of their hotels are eco-certified. And then organic eating is a new trend in the city. So restaurants sell food made of organic ingredients, and they have vending machines where you can recycle materials and receive a deposit. So Copenhagen hopes to become carbon neutral by 2025. So with all of this positive development, so it's hard not to think this is the most eco-friendly city. So, and here you see some of the photos of Copenhagen, Denmark. So if you wish to go there or travel there, the best time to visit is from May or June to August. So next is the Zurich, Switzerland. So Zurich is known for the financial power. So it is undoubtedly a leading city in sustainability. So it also focuses on the public transport, focus on education, waste reduction goals, and the use of renewable sources of energy. So Zurich is near the top of our list of environmentally friendly cities in the world. So over 80% of their electricity is now coming from renewable energy source. And over 40% of the city's waste gets recycled. And lastly, over 70% of their hotels are sustainable certified. And yeah, similar to Copenhagen, they have also have bikes all over the city, and they offer theirs as a free of any charge.
It is also recognized as the UK's most eco-friendly city, as Bristol has a good air quality and continues to grow in the number of cyclists on the road. So another reason this city has topped the list of Britain's greenest cities is a survey found that residents recycle or compose 47% of their household waste. And they also consume below 3,000 kilowatts per hour of gas in a year. So all this and more make a Bristol great sustainable place to visit. So yeah, some place from Bristol. Next is the London, UK. So one of the big things that makes London an eco-friendly city is they have over 3,000 green spaces and parks, which makes up 40% of the city. And
yeah, the city was ranked as the most environmentally friendly city by the IESE Cities in Motion Index 2020. And today, London hopes to reach net zero greenhouse gas emissions by 2050. So they are investing in diesel electric hybrid buses. So they hope by 2037, all 9,200 of their buses will produce zero emissions. So we can see in the picture how London looks like. So next is the San Francisco. So San Francisco eco-revolution has been transforming the community in recent years. About 77% of the waste in San Francisco is recycled. So first city in America to prohibit the use of plastic. So another great green started San Francisco boasts is about 13.8 out of every 10,000 homes use solar energy, which is double the average in the US. So lastly, San Francisco is one of the top places you can travel car free. So you can enjoy walking all over this sustainable city. So yeah, this is how it looks like the San Francisco. So if you ever wonder, in our country, the Philippines, there is a project called the New Clark City. So the New Clark City, this is sprawling 44.8 hectare green and sustainable open recreational space inspired by global best practices and Philippine heritage will rise at the heart of the New Clark City in Tarlac. So it is a space that is one with nature, complete with a floating lakeside stage, pedestrian bridge, retention pond, multi-purpose lounge, meditation alcoves, a calisthenics or outdoor theme, or Sunset Plaza and Rain Garden. So the construction of the New Clark City Park, Central Park, is set to begin in 2023 and completed by 2035. So it is said to be one of the sustainable city to build by 2035, as the UK, as CDO and the BCDA have yet to finalize designs and full feasibility studies within this year. So did you know that Manila has improved by 2 notches to 100 to its ranking in the 2021 Global Smart City Index? Yes, the Smart City Index is a methodology that assesses the perceptions of residents on issues related to structures and technology applications available to them in their city. So in the case of Manila, it has improved its ranking to 102 from 104 in 2020. So hoping to get it high. So it has also moved up in the Smart City rating from D to C. So the city got a C rating for both factors such as the structures and technology. So let's have the key takeaways. Yeah. So sustainable cities are not only a lofty goal for urban planners and environmentalists to preserve and develop it. So it must all maintain and make it a habit in our daily lives. These are the 6 characteristics and key features of sustainable city. So those are the ways that we could achieve a sustainable status. And by adopting these features, that we need to address all the social, environmental, economic impact of sustainability for us to be benefited by having a better and healthy environment and living. So yeah, so these places are one of the sustainable cities in the world that practice and have implemented ways to have more sustainable living and have been accredited by organizations such as LEED, Smart City Index, and etc. So, conclusions and recommendations. We now understand that what it means to be a sustainable and how it benefits both the environment and the people. Also, we have known some of the sustainable cities in the world. As sustainable cities, we have a much broader range of options for how we live. And yeah, for how we live sustainably in order to avoid harming the environment and its people. And we are the only ones who can make a difference in a city and community's sustainability. So that's all for now. Once again, I'm Miss Mara Hano from BSCE 1A. Thank you for listening and watching. I hope that you learned from me. So have a nice day, everyone. Oh, I forget. Here are the reference embedded links.